Hey guys and dolls, this is your friendly neighborhood DragynAlly back at you talking about the Atlantic City Beer Festival, which was probably the most fun I've had in 2 days back to back, and probably one of the biggest hangovers I've had in a long time. You can't go to a beer fest without trying at least as many as you can get your hands on. You just can't do it. It won't work. Um, it was probably the best time I've had in a really long time. It is such a wonderful festival. They do a great job setting everything up. So you have different beer vendors, you have food vendors, you have vendors that are just there for fun, selling you t-shirts. One of the local strip clubs, yes, a strip club, had a dunk tank. The reason I'm umming is because I'm trying to remember the name of the strip club. Bear Exposure. They had dunk tank, which was actually very tasteful. I was very impressed at how tasteful it was. So yay to them. As I start out with the strip club, of course that's what I remember first. But the first thing I did was check out the sand sculpture, which I will put pictures up on in the lair in the post that this will be in. The sand sculpture was gorgeous. It's so detailed and it just welcomes you into the beer fest, and it speaks to what Atlantic City sort of is reminiscent of, that boardwalk, that feeling. And as you all know, I've said many times, I'm a Jersey girl, born and raised Jersey girl for life, and so the shore is very important to me, especially in a post Sandy world where my beloved shore was torn to pieces, and I think a lot of us sort of still feel the ache of that. Oh, I have to mention, kudos to Beerfest. $1 from every ticket went to Sandy Relief, and I'm so happy about that. There were a lot of people there, so that probably did a ton of good. So yay, thank you AC Beerfest for trying to rebuild the shore, rebuild my home and the home of many others. Not my personal home, but the shore is our home. You get the idea. Anywho, the first thing I did was go grab my media pass. Once again, looking at the phone for pictures. If you guys saw my Lush review, you know that I have to break out the phone for the sake of memories. Picked up my media pass, headed in, saw the beautiful sand sculpture. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous sand sculpture. Then you start looking around and there's everything. There's delicious food. There's beer after beer after beer. And I don't say that to sound mundane, because they were all so unique and so different. I don't think I tasted two beers that tasted alike. And that's saying something, considering there were over 90 breweries and over 400 some odd beers. That it's amazing that you wouldn't run into like a similar beer twice, unless you went back in line for a beer you really liked, which I may have done. Um, there were hard ciders, there were stouts, there were German and Belgian wheat beers, there, so whatever suits your fancy you could have found. I kind of like trying a little bit of everything, because I have to try everything I can. One of the first things I tried actually wasn't a beer. Oh, there's a company that makes something called Spice Cream, and I'm trying to see if I can find the company's name as I look. Oh, I'm going to mess up this name so bad. Bonfatos? Bonfatto apostrophe S. If somebody can pronounce that for me, you will be my hero. They make these really great spicy wing sauces. Well, they decided to take these spicy wing sauces, the fruit-based ones, and make ice cream. It is probably the best ice cream you will ever have if you get a chance. They're definitely selling it in the New Jersey, Delaware Valley area, which is wonderful for me, because that means a shop right near me will probably have it soon. It the flavor I tried was, once again, looking at the phone, Sweet Peachy Heat Wave. What was really nice about it is that you taste it and it was smooth, creamy, sweet, fruity, delicious, and then you get that sort of warm heat in the back of your throat. Even if you don't love spicy, it's still really good. It's really flavorful. You don't get like smacked in the face with like heat. They're not trying to burn you up. They're just trying to give you a little interest in your mouth, and it's so really really good. Um, then I headed over to Boulder Beer and tried the Sweaty Betty. I had to try it just for the name. It had such a light, crisp flavor. It was such a great beer. This is going to be another one that's going to be a long video, so bear with me. Oh, Traveler Shandy. Really good shandy. I know from shandy because I've been to Germany and I tried the Russ and the Russian. I'm probably saying that wrong. Somebody in Germany correct me. And I also will try shandies everywhere I go. It was really good, lemon flavor. It was more of a lemony lemonade base than it was. A lot of shandies are made with Sprite, but this, I say Sprite, lemon lime soda, but this was more lemony, more of a lemonade, and it had such a smooth taste and flavor about it. I was quite the fan. Um, let's see, what else did I try? Oh, Red's Apple Ale. It was like drinking an apple. It was so good. Instead of like a cider that sort of has like sort of that bubbly sweetness about it, it tasted like a beer but still very appley and fresh and such a wonderful taste. I took everything not to grab case and take home. Batch 19 pre-prohibition beer. Nice heady flavor, bitter aftertaste, bit more bitter than I like, but it's still very good flavor. Let me see. Ooh, Crispin apple cider and Fox Barrel. They're by the same company. Fox Barrel being my favorite. That was the pear. I tried the Crispin first, which is the apple. Really good apple cider, very crisp, very refreshing. But the pear Fox Barrel was amazing. It was probably the best pear cider I've had. Let me see. Saw some beer pong. Ooh, stopped by Phillips Seafood. Now, I will say, like, I stopped by Phillips Seafood, and when you've had a few beers, or when I've had a few beers, seafood sometimes doesn't sound so good, but it actually was probably the best thing I ate all Beer Fest. And I had the tuna tacos, which they are lightly seared, rare tuna with all the taco fixings in a soft shell, and it just had such a good flavor. It was still very hearty, you know, even though it was light. Like, I didn't feel like I was being overwhelmed by food, but I still felt full enough to keep the beer fest going. Um, Chocolate, Lucy the Elephant. Ooh, Moonlight Meadery, gotta give them a shout out. They were really good too. Mead is more like a wine almost, but it's sort of like an old school alcoholic beverage. Very good, very sweet. The one I tried was very sweet, and it was sort of I want to say almost like a sweet wine, a sweet juice, almost a sweet cocktail blend. It was such a great taste. I wanted more. I didn't go back for more. I actually got a picture with the maker of the Moonlight Mead. Shout out to him. He was really awesome. I wish I had a chance to talk to him more. Let me see. Ooh, more food. I actually had one stand had a really good burrito. I have to remember their name. I'd have to look through my pictures some more. The lines weren't too bad day one. I went on Friday for session one, Friday, April 5th for session one, which was 7 to 11, and then I went Saturday, April 6th for the second session. And my first session, I got to try so many things. I got to see the mechanical bowl. But what I really loved is I got to see 2 cooking demos, which was, that was my highlight. That's one of the things I want to talk to you guys about. What's great about Beer Festival is you sort of had a great thing for every age range. You know, you have the mechanical bull. Yes, you have the dunk tank with one of the local strip clubs, but you also have these really wonderful cooking demos. You have, you know, different beers you can taste. You could be a 21-year-old going on their first drinking sort of binge, so to speak, or you could be an adult looking for a relaxing evening and looking for a good time, and you would have still gotten it. For being such a full crowd, it didn't feel rowdy at all. It didn't feel like, you know, you were being overwhelmed by people. It didn't feel like pushing, shoving. It didn't feel like a frat party. Because that was, I will admit, that was my concern. I'm like, you have all this beer and all these people. This is going to be the biggest frat party on earth, and it wasn't. It was very sort of like mellow. Like, you felt like you were having a good time and you know, hanging out with people, but you didn't feel like you were crowded. I bumped into so many guys, and they were just so friendly and nice and just like, oh, excuse me. So very cool. The 2 cooking demos I saw, and I can't remember the chef's name, but his book is We'll Cook for Sex, and I think that's the best title for a book ever. And then the second was the Grill Sergeant. Yes, Grill Sergeant, and he made a delicious chili, and we actually did the wobble and the Cupid Shuffle with him, so he was a lot of fun. So day one of my beer fest was spent trying out tons of beer, eating as much food as I could afford. You did have to pay for the food, but once you're in, all the beers are free, so Yay. The cooking demos are also free, which was wonderful too. And you got really cool swag, and they talk to you about Rastelli Food, which is a ordering service that delivers to your house and stuff like that. The two different things I tried were these lemony shrimp and the grill sergeant made a chicken chili. Very delicious, very good food. Cooking demos in front of you. And as I said, you sort of got that age range where if you were an older couple, or even I'm not old. You could sit down and watch a cooking demo while the craziness going around you. You know, you're a bit younger. Do, the mechanical bull, or hey, who am I to judge? At any age, do the mechanical bull. I'll tell you more about my day 2 in my next video because I am running at 10 minutes and 33, 4 seconds, and I'm sure you're getting like, Dana, stop talking. So I'll stop now. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.